Hey guys, welcome back to Rhino Off-Road, and today is part 2 of the tires and clutching videos. I got the 34-inch Tusk Megabites on. Me and Cam Tam went out for a tour yesterday. I found the most bombed out junk road imaginable. It's an old logging road. If you haven't seen the video, watch it. It's crazy. These tires performed like a champagne. Wow. I did have to air them down. I had them at 15. I aired them down to about 10 psi. Perfect. But the traction, the sidewall flex, everything. They just night and day. I could not be happier with them. Now, that being said, the test yesterday wasn't just the tires, it was also the clutching. Now, depends who you listen to. Some people say it doesn't need clutching, other people say absolutely it needs clutching. We're going to find out. Yesterday, I was on the stock weights. I didn't have a problem. On the tougher climbs in low, starting off, you're missing a little bit of torque. Not bad. Not bad at all. But that is rider preference. I prefer a little bit of snap off the bottom to get things moving. Stock weights, you're fine with 34 inches. But that is not the problem or why I'm changing clutch weights today. It is starting to shift at about 70K. If your machine does it, you'll feel it. It's not that smooth, linear. You'll get to a certain point and it'll shift. Your clutch weights are done. So, I went and got some JBS coated weights. They are guaranteed for 2 years, and best of all, they are adjustable. They come with little screws. Let me see if I can do this. You put them anywhere you want. Second, third, fourth. But the idea here is bigger tires, less weight. So, as a base point, I went on JBS's site, watched a couple other videos. They're saying for 35s, a good base, just a place to start, is all 4 weights with a screw right there. So that is what we're going to do today. We're going to change the stalkers, see how badly they're worn, and we're going to throw the JBSs in. Then a test video. Now, I don't do 0 to 60s. I don't find that's even relevant for what I do. I never drag race. Why would I care about 0 to 60? I do know my machine. I know if it feels laggy. I know if it's more zippy. That's the kind of testing we're going to do. Real world, not drag racing. So, we're going to get these all installed. Hopefully, maybe Saturday. It's supposed to rain, but we'll see. Hopefully, get it out, test, report back to you guys. So, I've rambled on way too long. I'll get the tools ready, and we will get on it. So, subscribe, don't forget that, and let's get after it. here we go. I have 10mm socket, 12-inch extension, and power ratchet. Regular ratchet will do just fine. Why the long extension? Well, I have found that going into tight spots like that, I don't know if you can see that, it's just easier with a long extension. Down here, with the bottom ones, long extension, long. It's just my preference. That's what I like. So let's get these bolts out and get this cover off. Without hitting the camera. Okay, now everybody seems to have a problem getting these things out of here. I never have. So, what you want to do, make sure your gasket is not coming out with it. Is everybody seeing that? Tilt it down like that. Like, I don't understand what the problem is online, but that's all you do. It's easy. Anyway, there we are. We're into the clutches. Now, we need to get the belt off. I do not have the spreader bolts. What I have discovered is that your motor mount, that bolt right there, works perfect for that. So you're always carrying this. There we go. I'm gonna get the sockets, we're gonna get that spread and get the belt off. Get your 14mm. Little extension if necessary. She's tough, but it should be because it's motor mount. Now, that works just fine for the secondary clutch. That should work. Definitely start it by hand. There's probably going to be clutch dust in there, so don't get discouraged and just drive it home with an impact. There, we're in a couple rounds. See the belt loosen off? Just like that. There. We're off there. And we're gonna loosen this back out. Just to not keep tension on this spring for however long this is gonna take, maybe an hour or two. Maybe it makes a difference, maybe it doesn't. That's just my thinking. Don't put tension on the spring if you don't have to. Now, the primary. I'm gonna move the flashlight and we have to take this cage off. That's gotta go. Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some sockets and change the lighting. And we are back. Now, what you want to get is a 12 in addition to your 10 to get this cover off, because back here are 12s. One there, one down there. They're easy to see, you'll find them. And back here is 10 and 10. Why they made them different sizes, I don't know. Would have been convenient to make them all 12, but hey, I didn't build it. Okay, so we're gonna get these bolts out of here. Incidentally, I have a ridiculously long extension on this, so I can stay out of the way of the camera. And you can see what I'm doing. There. There's one. They are way in there, so it may take a little finagling to get on the bolt or the nut, but it is totally doable. Let's see if we can drag that nut out of there. No, huh? All right, I'm gonna go get a magnet. There we go. One of the handiest tools you can ever buy, magnet. It will save you so much work. Don't want to bend over to pick a tool up? There you go. Grab it. Okay, we got our 12s out. Now, I wonder if I can reposition you for the 10s. Give me a second here. Okay, we got our 10 on. Now, these are long bolts, not nuts like the other ones. There. There, we are happy with that. Now, the cage has to come off. It wasn't bad last time, but that means nothing about this time. So, let's see if it's going to cooperate. No, it is not. Okay, well, all right, I'll be back. All right, we have a nice soft dead blow hammer. I know it's a little brutal, but this one has stuck twice now. I don't know what it is. Bad factory fit. Could be belt dust. I don't know. This really sucks with one hand. they don't waste any space with these things. Like, it's bordering on ridiculous, but that is the way things are built now. Belt out of there. We will measure that, check the side. It should be okay. I only put it on like maybe 500 kilometers ago, but we are going to check it later anyway. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go get some tools. And we are back, guys. Now, what I did to make things easier, if you watched my last video, you've seen I had the snowmobile in here. I pulled the sliders off. That's part of the reason the sled was in here. And they're obviously junk, the old ones. So I made a wedge out of the sliders. Now, our friends in the South are going to watch this and go, what the hell is a slider? It's a snowmobile part that allows the track to slide. This is incredibly tough plastic. So I made a little wedge for this reason. We need to, I could take the clutch off. I just don't want to. I think this is going to be easier. Now, we want to separate the top part and the bottom part, get it to squeeze in just a little bit. So, I know you probably can't see this very good. I have the wedge in there. There. There, the wedge is in there. There, can you see that? Right there. Now, all of these will be loose. And you're probably saying, why in the hell can he spin that clutch? Well, Kawasaki has what's called a wet clutch. This is not attached directly to the crank. There's another clutch in here, a wet clutch. So that just allows us to spin this any which way we like. Now, this, I'm gonna need a dentist pick or something to spin. Let me see if I can get in here closer to spin these tiny clips around so I can grab them. Okay, so I am going to go get my dentist picks and situate this camera somewhere that I don't need to keep messing with it. And we'll be right back and get these weights out. And we are back, guys. Now, what you need is the proper size pliers for these clips, and you want to be very, very gentle with these things. I didn't grab new ones. I'm going to order them, but for the time being, we're going to reuse the old ones, which means we cannot overstretch these things. So we need to be extremely careful. I'm sure you probably can't even see what I'm doing. I can barely see what I'm doing. Wow, those are very small. There. Now, we got that out. And very carefully put that somewhere we're not going to lose it. Now, I'm almost certain this pin is not going to just fall out. It's going to be dusty. Where's my hammer? Let's see if we can help it along a little bit. Okay. It's unhappy. So I'm going to go get something to punch that without damaging the pin. Okay, I think this should do it. I found a tiny bolt that will go inside that. And I know, shouldn't do it, but I'm going to use my extension to tap on that. And we're hitting this pin nice and even. We're not going to do any damage to it. So, let's go with that. I'm going to move that camera. There, I can just zoom in when I edit this. Okay, so I discovered 1/4 inch extension. Fits in there about perfect, and it's not going to hurt the pin. There, it's loosened up. No, there is no shims or anything in here. It is just this pin. There we go. All right, let's see what the old ones look like. They're not that terrible. They are wearing unevenly, but there's no giant grooves. Just right at the top end, and that would be about 70 kilometers an hour, is where they're digging in a little bit. But they have to be replaced. Luckily, I did this before. I caught it before any damage was done. On the sheaves here, no gouging, no grooves. They're all still good. So, I don't have to replace a clutch. That makes me happy. Okay, we are going to go over and set up one of the JBS weights. Now, here we are. We're going to take one of our weights, and as we talked about before, I'm just going to do all 4 on the inside hole to see how it works. Now we will put it together like so. Now we've got our 8mm socket and 4mm Allen. Now these are nylock, so you don't have to horse these things. just snug. There we go. Now, I don't think it'll make any difference, but I'm just weird that way. I'm going to do them all now, so the bolts are all in the same way. Like so. So I will finish that off, and we will grab 2 shims, and we're going to go over and put this guy in. Alright guys, we got a pin here, and it's been wiped off, wiped clean, no lube though. You don't want lube on these and attract dirt. Just as clean as you can wipe it down. Oh, this is going to be tricky with the camera there. But let's get this guy up far enough that it will hold on to, there we go, our shim. Next, we'll put our weight in very, very carefully to not knock that shim off there. There, you can see the pins through it and the shim. Now, our last shim, make sure it's going the right way, like this. Yeah, I know you probably can't see what I'm doing, but there's not a lot of room in here. Wow, this is tricky. Wow, is that tricky? What the hell? Well, we got the clip to put on now. Like so. There, that clip is nice and tight. And it's in the track all the way around. There we go. No, it's not very loose. So that's good. Now, just got to do the other 3. So, I'm not going to bore you guys with that. I'm going to get it done. And then we'll go on to reassembly. Okay, we are back, guys. Now, I got all 4 of them in. Some of them are a pain. Those washers are the little plates. To get the pin past those with the sharp edge that holds the clip, they catch. That's well, it's neither here nor there. I got it, but just be warned, that is a bit of a pain. But it is back together, and now we're ready to start putting it back together. So while we're in here, we're going to spray it down, clean this thing out, because a clean clutch is a happy clutch. So use your little COVID mask. It's got to be good for something, right? Okay, let's do it. There. I am going to step outside for a minute and let the dust die down. Okay guys, we got the dust cloud gone now. We got to pull our wedge out of here. Okay, we got our wedge out of there, guys. Now, these faces, let me see if I can get this light in here. You can see these faces, they're rubbed. They're rubbed pretty good. So, what I'm gonna do is take some Scotch-Brite, some brake clean, and I'm gonna wipe them down. Not sure how I'm gonna do that with you guys here. Let's see. This view is all right. There. Should be able to see what I'm doing there. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to hose this down with some brake clean, and I am going to scrub these faces to loosen up that rubber and dirt. There. Now you can see the difference. This picked up a whole bunch of crap off that clutch. Your belt's gonna grab better. Belt's gonna last longer. Now let's do this guy. Picking up all kinds of gook. There. Nice. Now, we need a nice clean cloth. I just happen to have a whole bag of microfibers. Now, let's wipe these down. I can totally feel the difference. It's almost tacky now. That picked up all that crap off that clutch. Let's stick this guy in here. Look at the junk. That is awesome. Keep your clutches clean, guys. It does not take long. Like I said, I did this not long ago. I just put a new belt in. I got 4,000 K out of the last belt. That's not bad. So I'm doing something right. Switch it to low instead of lugging it. Let that engine sing. Keep your clutches clean. And your belt will last a good long time. Okay, now we want to get that, let's see, what are you guys looking at here? Let's get that belt back on. So, we'll spread our clutch. Now I am just wiping down this belt. I'm not going to wash it. Just wipe down the sides. Whatever gook's on there will fall off. New belts for break-in, yes, I do wash them with soap and water. Just to get the factory powder off them. There, this guy's good. Now, make sure your arrows are pointing the right way. Tuck it in there. Easy peasy. go. Now spin this quite a few times. See, it's hitting here. It's got to ride back out on the secondary. There we go. There. We're a little over flush with the outside edge here. So that's good. You're not going to be stressing that belt out when you take off. Okay, let's move you guys again. Now, let's get our motor mount bolt back in. Good to go. Next, our cage. There, double check. That's on. That's on. Okay, we're gonna start everything loose. I gotta get a better light than this. These things just suck. Maybe a snake light or something that actually goes where you need it. Anyway, where's our nuts? There we go. All right, we got the 12 in there. Let's get that started by hand. Awesome. Let's get that going. All right, down low. There. That guy's started. Now, switch over to our 10 mils. And these guys, both are the same size. So they're not specific where they go. 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 One more. Snugged. Okay, now let's get these 12s snugged right down. Wow, this camera is absolutely in the way. There, we don't need to horse these. Just nice and snug. That's it. Go. There. Plenty tight, plenty good. Everything's good. All right, next. The cover. Let's go get that. Now, you want to make sure your gasket is in there and sitting right, or this thing's not going to be waterproof. And that is going to be a whole bunch of trouble. For me anyway, because I like to play in the water. This is just terrible, terrible lighting. I gotta work on that. All right, we got our bolts. Now, I'm gonna finagle this back into place. Like I said before, it's not hard. I don't really understand why everybody's having so much trouble with these. It's just a twist and a turn. There, that's it. It's I don't know. The only thing I can think of, really, is these shocks like to sag. And if you do get the sag, that's going to bring this top down some. It's going to come this way. Then you might have trouble getting it out of there. I don't know. That's all I can come up with. I've just never had any problem with it. Okay, hold it into place. Make sure it's sitting on the lip where it's supposed to be. Just snug it. The bottom. Well guys, there we go. They're in. Clutches are cleaned up. Everything's back the way it should be. Now the only thing left is to try it out and see if it makes any difference from the stockers. It should. I'm guessing there's different weight. Yeah, these guys are shined up. They're not as bad as I thought they were going to be, but you can feel little ridges here and there. 4,000 kilometers, that's not bad. And they were not easy kilometers either. But the real test will be tomorrow. It seems to be a good kit, good and solid. We'll see how it performs. But for now, that's the end of my day. I'll get this tested and let's see what happens.